Alright, y'all. The engine's back. Just came off the UPS truck. It's right down there. Pretty sick. The engine got built by Inline Pro, but I'm gonna set y'all down and we're gonna unbox it. I got the head yesterday and waited to unbox everything just to wait until I had all the pieces together. And then, yeah, I'm gonna just show y'all. Bouncing around. Alright. Hey, that works. So I can use these for something maybe. Pretty nice. Alright, we'll set this to the side. Heavier with everything in there. There we go. That's all it's in there. Not bad. Here it is. Alright, so I stuck with the 2.2. I didn't opt to have the motor stroke to the 2.4 only because of, you know, like cost of everything. And I really like didn't think it'd be that big of like a high horsepower build or torque wise. Oof. Yeah, so you can kind of see, well, that's how everything looks. Pretty nice. Very clean. Alright, Inline Pro does great work. Valves, keepers, retainers, everything. New springs, Inconel valves. But yeah. Here's the block. God. This is crazy. Look at how sick that is. This is my first engine build, so excuse my excitement. Alright, so here's the whole engine. Alright, we have pistons, rods. It's fully sleeved, integrated O-ring. That's how she looks. Block is super clean. Alright, and the head. All new. Trying to show you. Everything's cleaned up on the inside, ported. Alright, so with how much crap I have in the garage, there's a bike in here, the FL5's in here. I'm gonna move my roommate's car and then pull out the FL5 just so I can pull the engine stand out and to like have all this space. Get the block on there and then I'll move it back to the rear of the garage just to do the rest of the assembly and everything back there. But that'll be over the course of a few days, and I'm probably gonna try and shoot an additional part of this video, just discussing like the process of getting the motor built to Inline Pro, having it sent off, and like that whole process, because there's not really a lot of information out there video wise unless like you're really digging deep into the forums. So hopefully this is helpful to people, whoever's looking to build an S2000 engine or whatever. But yeah, let's get those things moved out and we'll get the engine on the stand. It's an absolute jungle in my garage. Never thought I would own 3 cars, to tell you that. Guess I get it from my dad. My dad got this engine stand when my brother's Mazda blew up. You don't need to know about that. But all right, let's get to work. Okay, I'm about to unconventionally put this thing on this stand because it's not technically made for, well, the bolts I have and stuff were from like when we did a motor build, well, when my brother did a motor build like way back when in high school. So I've like had to mock this one up to be able to fit this. It works, but what you're about to see, I don't recommend. Okay. Okay, got that supported. Okay, there we have it. That was kind of hard, not gonna lie. This thing sure is heavy. But, engine's on the stand, sweating profusely. I think this is sick. So, I've never done an engine build before. This is the first time I've even like taken a motor apart down to this level. And you know, we sent it off to Inline Pro. They got it built. Probably took what, shipping it and receiving it back probably just over 6 weeks. They quote 6 weeks to kind of like do the assembly and stuff, and then shipping you tack on like an extra week. But they called me when they received the motor. And then once it passed inspection, they called me again to discuss any like additional plans. And they called me on the back end when it was finished and letting me know it was done, getting boxed up. That's when they kind of told me about the shipping situation, because my tough box wouldn't hold it, the whole assembly, and it'd be too much weight. So they actually paid for the shipping for my head to come back in my box. So I got my box back. And then they packaged the head up, or the block up real nice, shipped that, comes UPS ground, but yeah, no damages, inspection on it, looks freaking great. I'll show you, I'll turn it over, show you guys the whole overview of the motor. And I mean, yeah, this weekend we'll probably start trying to get everything assembled. You know, I'll probably, once I get the, you know, pulleys and stuff on there, I'll do like a once over, I'll spin it, clean it. As you know, definitely got to do an in-depth cleaning, even though it did, you know, anything that comes back from the machine shop. And we'll make sure everything runs great, but this is awesome. Like, I've never done this before. Zero knowledge. I have, you know, I'm mechanically inclined, of course, but I don't know, pretty surreal moment getting to do this. And the fact that it's, you know, a built motor going into a shaved engine bay that I did myself, I don't know, moment to be proud of myself, I guess. But yeah, next video will probably be just like a whole in-depth review and talk about the choices I decided to go with for the motor, and probably some assembly stuff. I have the head right there. We'll talk about that tomorrow as well, but yeah, as of right now, I think we'll call it a night.